Coming up in today's video, I do a defined braid out on my natural hair, showing you a great summer style that is very easy to do and looks very, very cute and elegant. Let's go ahead and get into today's video. Welcome or welcome back to Simply Shev, where we talk about all things natural hair, including my own natural hair journey, styling ideas, DIYs, and so much more. To help you grow your natural hair long, healthy, and strong, I want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. Thank you so much for checking out my content and for really commenting, and all the love you're showing on my channel really encourages me to make more and more videos for you. So in today's braid out video, I take you from hair that is not defined to super defined using a minimal amount of product and really getting great results. So I start really my braid outs based on my braids. So if I really want a chunky braid out, I will do big braids. If I want defined braid outs, I'll do smaller braids. If I want super defined braid outs, I will do mini braids. And for this one, I'm going to go with medium braids. And I would say my hair in this is stretched. It wasn't stretched using heat, but it was stretched plaiting and then plaiting again, which is stretching without heat. And then for the braid out, I plaited it. So if you want super defined hair, start with wet hair. That's going to mean you being able to dry your braids over several days, up to a week, and you will get the most defined braids starting with wet hair. However, the look I was going for is soft, defined, but not too defined hair. And so I used medium braids for this in order to get my achieved result. You can take this one step further by bantu knotting the ends of your hair. So I twist my braids until I get down to about the last 2 inches on my hair. Then I twist that. You can then curl those twists by doing a bantu knot. And then when you take those braids out, also the ends of your hair will be curled. So really a braid out is all about your braiding technique and also, the moisture levels in your hair, your ends, and I'm always talking about your scalp. So those 3 things, doesn't matter what I'm doing on my hair, my ends, my hair length, and in terms of the moisture, and my scalp first is the things that I think about. So after wearing those braids for several days, as I said, the most defined braid out will start with braids that's been in for a while. You can braid your hair the day before and do a braid out, but I find that those braid outs don't last as long. So then I'd go ahead and take down the braids that I've been wearing for a few days. I will sometimes also add leave-in conditioners and moisturizers to my hair while I'm wearing it in preparation for my braid out. When it comes to taking down your hair for a super defined braid out on your natural hair, my very first tip is to put some oil on your fingers and also lightly put some oil on your hair. The oil on your hair will minimize the amount of frizz that you will get at the end of the braid out. The oil on your hands will help you to take down the hair. I don't recommend using any tools such as brushes or combs to remove the braids because your hair will become very frizzy. So just your fingers is enough. Using just some oil, you could use olive oil, castor oil. I'd rather use olive oil rather than castor oil because castor oil is an humectant and it will make your hair swell up quite quickly and be very puffy. So stick to like light oils such as olive oil. Also, when you're taking down your braid, you will find that your braiding technique really helps. Try to use 3 even sections and braid all the way down without stopping and gathering hairs from other section. That way, when you're pulling it out, you can almost just find that lead hair and loosen it and your hair comes apart quite easily. Can you see the definition that there is in my hair? Also, I want to touch on preparation for the braid out. You want to make sure that your hair is deep conditioned before you put the braid in. Probably do a wash day if you're going to have a braid out. Remember, braid out's a great protective style. If you do your braid outs well enough, they're able to last for weeks and weeks and weeks without actually redoing them. But you could also redo them and use that as the basis of a good protective style, say for buns, etc., as long as you are tucking your ends away. So start with moisturized hair and hair that's already in great condition because you're going to be wearing your braid out for probably a week or more if you're like myself. Once again, a good braid out on your natural hair starts with good braiding technique. Once again, if you want really super defined braids, start with very, very small braids. If you want medium size, you'll do medium ones. And if you want chunky ones, you will do big braids. But for super definition, I find, and obviously because our hair texture is the way it is, we're going to get a textured braid out, right? But there are things that we can do to help to get a textured braid out. When I say a textured braid out, I mean I'm not going to be doing a lot of fluffing, as you will see at the end of the video. I'm keeping it simple because I want this braid out to last for a whole week and possibly two. I do want to encourage you, if you reach so far into the video and have not yet subscribed, do go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, check out the playlist section of this channel, where I've got lots of playlists on how to grow your natural hair in 2022, including a playlist called How to Grow Your Natural Hair in 2022. My playlist on mini braids. Mini braids have been a big feature of my channel because I'm using that as a long-term protective style in order to get really extreme growth. I've just finished a challenge. I'm going to be starting another one. So also check out my growth aid playlist on virgin hair fertilizer, clove. But generally, there's a lot of information. I've been researching hair care since 2009, and all of that knowledge I've gathered, I'm putting it into this channel to help you to grow your natural hair long, healthy, and strong. So do go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, give this video a like and check out the playlist section. Also, comment down below any videos you'd like to see, any question you might have on braid outs or any other content that you might see on my channel. I'm very, very happy to help you with that. So back to the video then. I always get a lot of comments on how dark my hair is, how rich it looks. There are things you can do to help the texture of your hair and to make your hair really look healthier. That's Aveda. I use fenugreek, I use henna. Henna is really good for binding your hair's protein together and keeping it strong. So I will say use henna on your hair and other Aveda to really get your hair looking like what my hair is looking like. Another tip for taking down your braids, for having super defined braid out, is to give yourself enough time. So that's to have patience to gently remove the braids. Once again, that's to avoid frizzing, but that's also to maintain the style, because when we finish with the braid outs, our hair is going to look curly. And if we do that in a rush, we might mess with the pattern that we are going for. As I said, I'm not going to be doing much fluffing to this because it's really a defined braid out. Now, if you want to see the difference between a braid out and a twist out, I've got that video on my channel. I'm going to try to link it in this video, showing you the kind of different textures that you will get. They give you different looks. And for me, I prefer a good braid out. A good braid out lasts longer, and therefore I can use it as a protective style as opposed to a twist out. But twist outs are also great for growing your natural hair. So I will link that video. And also check out my Twisting for Growth playlist. I've also done a challenge where I just twisted my hair, and I've also got my braiding playlist. So check out both of those in order to grow your natural hair. So here is the final look of my super defined twist out. So just to recap then, to get a good braid out on your natural hair, you need to consider the technique of your braiding in the very first place. And even before that, consider deep conditioning your hair and getting your hair into a really good, healthy stage for doing this. Also, maintain your ends as well, because if you have a braid out and your ends are not looking great, then you might not have the sort of defined look that you are going for. So the main thing is healthy hair, which comes through treatment, deep conditioning, and then putting in the braids depending on if you want very, very defined, use small braids, medium size, as in this one, use medium braids, and chunky ones, use bigger braids. That is it. Taking care of your natural hair, looking after your natural hair, styling your natural hair doesn't have to be expensive. I hope you are finding that out on my channel. All the techniques and the tools that I'm using is very, very simple. I do want to say though, I am going to be doing some products, so look out for that in September. I'm hoping to at least get to one product launch by then. So much going on Simply Shev, and also a new challenge coming up, which I think you'll find beneficial. So do look out for that. Also, check out all my playlists on my playlist section in order to help you this year to really achieve your hair goals. Do check out those videos on how to set hair goals and achieve them. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Have a blessed day and take care.